So, Gustavo, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just got home. Good day of sparring. Just kind of felt really good moving around with my coaches and helping some teammates. And then just came home, had dinner, and just relaxed. And
Right on, man. And I know I already told you, but I love those wrestling shoes you got, man. I didn't know they did that kind of thing.
my manager is connected with a bunch of some good people, so they send some out. So I love them.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. Like, do you normally get that kind of stuff from your manager, or is this just a one-time thing?
Uh, I just he's gotten other shoes for other people before and for other fighters, so he's really into the wrestling community.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a lot of good connections. So hopefully we'll keep it on going.
Oh, right on, man. Well, I just first want to say thanks for joining in. Normally I say that at the end of the video, but yeah, so thanks for joining in, taking your time. I know you just got done training all day, like you said. So yeah, man, let's get right down to it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man. So obviously I watched a couple of videos today. Were you training at the UFC Performance Institute today?
Yes, I did some yesterday, and then I got some physical therapy done today, and then kind of just drilling around.
Okay. Yeah, because it would appear to be you were doing like some hit cardio or something.
Yes, that was yesterday actually. We're doing some we do conditioning with my strength conditioning coach Bo, so
Hmm.
he's just putting me on so keep the gas tank ready to go.
Do you find that the hit cardio helps out with the gas tank, or what do you normally do to to help out with that?
I usually just push the pace. Usually you're gonna get more conditioning done by actually getting the rounds in, hitting the bag, moving them, stuff like that. This is just extra stuff, being able to run for a long time and hard, it's gonna help.
Hmm.
But actually doing wrestling and jujitsu and getting rounds like that is gonna help you with the more of the fighting. So this is just a good base to have to start because you could be good at marathons, but it's not the same as being in a fight. So we work on those two. We get some heavy rounds and push the pace and making sure we're gonna be able to break people.
Yeah, yeah, and I know for sure like hit cardio is good for like fat burning. Like it's really good fat burner. I mean, obviously for you, you have no problem staying in shape, but yeah, definitely it's for myself. I use it for myself, and yeah, it's a great fat burner too. And it just helps you with your metabolism too. I'm sure just to kind of keep.
Definitely, yeah. We're just keeping. We're slowly knocking the weight down, so we're not trying to get super drastic on like my last fight. We got a really bad, short notice fight. We cut it all, but
Yeah,
wasn't able to perform the way I wanted to for sure.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, and fighting a tough guy like Murad, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah, Moran.
Yeah, and a tough guy like him too. I mean, to have the kind of weight cut that you had, um, I mean, like I guess you kind of came in at a bit of a disadvantage, I find, and hopefully, like your upcoming fight, it's going to turn out a lot better. At least you have the appropriate time to be able to do your proper weight cut and be able to show up a little bit better, eh?
Yes, that's the plan. Definitely, that's the plan.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, we both know you got an upcoming fight with Felipe Corrales
Yes,
in November. Uh, so, I mean, what are you doing to prepare for this fight?
just making sure we're good on our feet. As far as we know, the guy's a good striker, good Muay Thai base with some good jiu-jitsu. Suppose he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but I'm very well. My ground game is, it's not. It's like I'm world class grappling as well. So if he thinks he's gonna take me down easily, it's gonna be a problem. If he thinks he's gonna just stay on his feet, again, another problem. We're getting better on our feet. Where my wrestling's gonna be better. My grappling is gonna is as his or maybe even better than his. So we'll figure things out as we go. But we'll definitely be ready for whatever comes up.
Do you find like maybe you might pull a Johnny Walker and he tries to, take for that double leg and you just elbow him in the head? What?
That'd be fun. That could happen. Who knows? I feel like based on my last performance, people think that I don't have good wrestling. because the money takedown Marab took down. But Marab is just a different animal. He's a super good wrestler with great cardio. It's
Hmm.
and plus the weight cut I had, it's different. So it's just a lot of situations, a lot of that. I feel like people are gonna underestimate me because of that fight. People are gonna think like, oh, doesn't have a ground, doesn't have this, and I feel like I'm gonna surprise a lot of fighters and a lot of people.
Yeah, and kind of talking about the weight cut, I guess what people need to understand is like just because you come into a fight, and I mean rightfully so, you came in a short nose fight, with the weight cut you had. People need to realize that weight cutting does so much to you, more than people
So,
think. Like people think, oh yeah, you cut weight and then you're good. Well, yeah, maybe, but it does so much to your performance. And I mean, we've seen it time and time again. You see some guys that cut so much weight to a certain weight class for so long, and it just catches up to them, and and they realize how much that weight cut really destroyed their body, and then it affects their performance, obviously. And so I think, yeah, and I think that if some people are underestimating you, and if your opponent is, well, he's surely mistaken.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but like your fight, your debut with the UFC didn't go your way. But how do you feel you're going to go in your next matchup? Do you feel with the proper weight cut, it's gonna, everything's gonna go the way you want it to?
I feel like it is. The
Hmm.
last two fights before this, when we had two full camps, and I felt phenomenal. It's when I won my world title for Combate, and then how I defended it. So two first round knockouts, and the game plan was just to actually get him to the ground and beat him up. But on the knockouts happened in the process of taking the guy down. So like my grounds, I'm saying, is phenomenal. And then stand up is just getting better.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, you got a lot of good training guys. You got a lot of guys, good guys to train with over at Extreme Couture, if that's where you're still training at.
Yes.
And you got some good guys over there. So how you like it over there? Is that somewhere where you
I
call it your
Oh,
home?
I love it. I love it. It's been my home since the beginning. It's where I helped Misha with her camp, and then where I helped Brian. So kind of just I moved down here, came to Extreme Couture, and then I'm not going nowhere. The family's amazing. All
Hmm.
the coaches there are phenomenal, and it's just a good energy, good vibe to just get you everybody ready. It's just truly just like a big family.
That's good, man. And and obviously, you're also trained at the UFC Performance Institute. Now, what's the benefits of you training over there? Is it just because you live in the area? Like, what is it?
So much, to tell you the truth. The Performance Institute has just been night and day now. They take care of your strength conditioning program, any physical therapy that you need, maintenance. They take care of all your supplements, and they take care of all your food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, that's
So they take care of everything. Like literally, the only thing you need to do is train your fighting technique and your, but they take care of everything else. They take care of the strength conditioning, make sure you're in shape, they make sure you're eating well, they make sure you have the right supplements in you. We done blood work to make sure like I'm not deficient in anything. They make sure my metabolism right, make sure I'm sleeping well. They added this new ring called Aura to all the UFC fighters that tracks all their performance, how they sleep, how they feel, if you need more time to recover, if you feel great, it tracks everything. So they do literally, Performance Institute has been phenomenal. I just truly grateful to have the opportunity to be living in Las Vegas, that I could be there every day, because I feel a lot of fighters do come down here and see it for a week or two, and then they go back home and then they don't have it and they gotta go back to the normal. And it's good, everybody been doing well without it before, but to tell the truth, being here and making all the stuff that they provide is second to none. Truly is amazing.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, no shit, eh? I mean, like that's pretty freaking sweet. I mean, that's like the best gym you could ever go to. I mean, they're taking care of you. I mean,
Yeah.
if I could go there, I wouldn't be worrying about my diet. Uh, but I mean, that's probably why. I mean, for instance, Ngannou there is pretty much there like full time. I mean, hell yeah.
Yeah, he lived in Las Vegas too, so he's one of the fighters that is Las Vegas local, no, local now that trains you all the time. His full camp is Extreme Couture, and then doing all your programs to
Hmm.
the PI. They do the strength conditioning, like I said. They do the nutrition, and they make sure your meals are ready, the right food's going to your system. They take out your supplements. So I think we're sponsored under Thor. It's a USADA approved supplement, so we have to worry about like, oh, is this supplement right? Because now with the USADA, they test everything. So if you get you and you're responsible for whatever you take. So if you're like, oh, I just took the supplement, like a friend told me it's good, but it's tainted with something that's not right, you're gonna get in trouble for it. You might get suspended for it. So they they make sure everything's done right.
Well, yeah, you can't come up with the excuse that, you're that the reason why they found PEDs in your system is because you ate fucking kangaroo meat.
Yeah, and again, it happens.
It does.
Some people are in different countries or different places that they do different stuff with their livestock. So who knows? Maybe there was they inject the kangaroo some stuff, and yeah, you're popping with stuff. But it's your fault for
Hmm.
it's your responsibility to put in whatever you put in your body.
Well,
So you
absolutely.
gotta know like where it came from and what's going on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're a professional athlete. You got to be careful what you're putting in your system now with USADA's in as well. Um, you just have to trust your team, trust the people that you're working with, and make sure, yeah, you're reading everything because yeah, USADA just, I have really a lot of mixed feelings about USADA, and as much as they've cleaned up the sport, clean up the PED usage and the steroids and et cetera, et cetera. It does kind of screw a lot of fighters over. I mean, it just takes one sample,
Yeah.
something in your blood, and you're fucked. And
Yeah, and then also with the like the even the THC stuff. I know a buddy of mine that took a fight in a short notice. He smokes occasionally, and then the day of the fight, you took it on a 2 day notice. You might have smoked the day before, and boom, you get tested, you pop, and now he's suspended for 2 years. So
oh my god,
it's just like, hey, you guys call me in 2 days. Usually I don't do it the day before the fight, but you literally call me the day before. Like it could have happened to me uh, for my fight because you got called on 20-day notice. You're like, oh, the week before I was still out having a good time, hanging out with friends, drinking, doing whatever. But luckily, my system, I don't get too crazy. Nothing's in my system.
right? Yeah, and the thing is about the whole thing about marijuana and and MMA organizations is I don't really understand why they give such a hefty fine for something like that, like a 2 year layoff for marijuana. And I get that. I understand that it's a drug, and I mean in some states it's still illegal. Um, but
But yeah, but it is legal in Vegas, so it's weird. I don't know.
it's legal in Vegas. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, we're good in Vegas, but you still can't have it in your system while you fight the
Oh,
day of the fight.
okay. Yeah, no, and I understand that. Obviously, I don't really understand being high during the fights really much for you.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna benefit you at all.
Yeah, but I get it. I mean, you just have to be careful.
Yeah, we just follow the rules and just we're still lucky to be able to work and still be able to do what we love. So just follow the rules, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that topic, I know that Canadian fighter Elias Theodoro, he fought in the UFC, based out of Toronto, and he's been advocating for fighters to be able to have the usage of marijuana in their system, whether that just be THC or just the CBD, which is obviously just the medical part of it. Um, but I know that he's been really advocating for you guys to be able to use it and not be penalized for it. Like, what's your thoughts? Do you think that there should be a window where they say, okay, if you're admitting that you're a medical or if you're a marijuana user, they say, okay, in this time frame you smoke, and then after this time frame, anything that gets caught in your system, that's on you. Like, what's your
No, I feel like it doesn't benefit you at all. To tell you the truth, I feel it does. it helps the body heal, and it's an herb you take to heal the body. It doesn't help you perform better unless you think it helping you sleep and helping you relax is gonna help you perform better. But it's not something that I feel like someone should get penalized for. It's an herb. There's nothing crazy about it. It's not a supplement that's gonna help with your performance like others do, like a steroid would.
Yeah,
So I think it shouldn't be that kind of penalty at all for it.
yeah, yeah, and you know what's really crazy? I'll never forget when Anderson Silva and Diaz they both got caught. I mean, Nick the marijuana and Anderson got caught for the PEDs, I think, or it was something close. And Anderson only got so much time, but Nick got like I think 2 to 3, 4 years. And I'm
I think
thinking,
I gave 5.
thinking,
It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was silly.
yeah.
Steroids you get suspended for a year, and then marijuana you were like 5 years. Yeah,
I mean,
it's definitely it's different. I guess the different laws for different things, but a lot of it's silly. I think I would love for people to go back and kind of change things, and take people that did have penalties for it, and kind of release it and let them get back to work, get back to doing what they're good at.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Just kind of getting off topic here now, but so you got a short notice fight into the UFC. Now, obviously, there's been some fighters that have gone on the Dan White Contender Series. Was that ever something that you and your team had thought about, like an opportunity like that?
Yeah, definitely. The contenders was going to be an option,
Hmm.
if when it came back up, but luckily I'm always game to fight. Luckily, the fight with Marab, like, and I feel like a lot of fight, like people. I don't know if I was the first in their call, but it did get to me, and luckily I'm like 17 pounds. We'll make it happen. Anything, I would have fought anybody to get in, to tell you the truth, even at 45. So the overall goal for MMA fighters to get into the UFC and become the best. If that's not the goal, I don't understand why you're still in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like you get to you get into hockey and you know you're starting out and you get into junior and that's as far as you want. Obviously, most players are going to want to get in the NHL.
Yes,
Like
100%.
what are you doing? Saying yeah, I just want to get and play in NHL and that's it. Well, if you don't want to be the best and you don't want to be making the big bucks, what are you doing sitting there? You want to be advancing. You want to be getting into the NHL. So yeah,
100%.
yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, so obviously now, I mean, do you find that it's do you find that it's easier now that you've gotten your foot in the door this way versus having to get that maybe one chance opportunity on that show?
I'm grateful that I got the opportunity. I feel like the people that are in contenders, you have to perform at your best
Hmm.
and still be better than the fighters that performed that night. Because they can easily give it to one fighter, and they don't have to give it to all 5 fights. It's possible, but there's some days, even for me, I took it in a short notice. If it was a contender fight, I doubt that Dana White would be like, "Oh yeah, give this someone a contract," you know. But I think finding a high level like Marab for a short notice, kind of just, hey, this guy's willing to, you know, it's kind of like one that was like doing them a favor, just like, hey, this guy's down to fight whoever, and I am. You know, if they gave me a call again tomorrow after my fight, like, hey, you want to fight again? I'm like, of course. I'm here to compete, to become the best, and just prove myself that I'm belonging in the UFC.
Absolutely, man. Well, that's great to hear. And yeah, and obviously you're going to be fighting in the bantamweight division. And some would argue to say that's one of the best divisions in the UFC, the most exciting. That I mean, the whole top 15 and more is just completely stacked.
It's
Uh,
super sad.
and I think me and everyone and their brother would say that. And so, what are your feelings being able to fight in an exciting division like that?
I'm excited, man. To tell you the truth, I'm truly excited. I've been training with some of the top bantamweights in the world right now, and we go head to head. So I feel like it just styles make fights. I
Mm.
feel like I'm very good at getting into people, taking people down. My jiu-jitsu is very well. I feel comfortable everywhere. So I'm excited to see what opportunities open up and how things are going to go. And I just know I'm going to come in. I'm going to be a pretty exciting fight.
Right on, man. And you being a former champ with combatant, I might be saying it wrong, combatant. Uh, so what you have experience being a champion, so you know that you can basically be anybody you want. So what makes you a threat at the bantamweight division?
I think my wrestling really is gonna showcase a lot, and the way I transition my striking into my wrestling. A lot of fighters are very good, good on the ground or just good on striking. I feel like I blend the both very well, and then on the ground I'm a brown belt, and I feel like I should be even more than that, but I let the coaches decide when I'm ready.
Well, it's really interesting that you bring up the idea about the wrestling. And do you find that actually wrestlers do a lot better in the UFC than a striker would? Because as
Yes,
yeah, because as much as we all stand on the feet, but if you are a great wrestler and the other guy can't you know do anything, if he can't take it, if he can't defend a takedown, I mean, it's a long night for him.
yes, it is, 100%. I feel like having a good wrestling base benefits me so well because if I do want to keep it on the feet, I'm able to keep it on my feet, and if I want to take you down, I'm gonna take you down. I could decide on where the fight's gonna be, and if you're just a good striker, that's great and all, but when we get on your back, it's gonna be a different story. I don't have that issue. I see if it goes to the ground, I feel comfortable on the ground. And if we keep it standing, my striking has been improving every day. So I'm excited to see, to showcase that.
Yeah, yeah, and absolutely, and as much as you say, you have the great wrestling, um, I think too, it's. I agree with you. I think it's a great thing. I think it does make wrestling dominant fighters more successful because the stand up you learn as you go. I mean, you look at Khabib, you know, his stand up has gotten so much better from here to here. But the wrestling is what really is the real factor in a lot of his fights. Um, but not just that. I mean, if you're facing a fighter who's great on the is great stand up, maybe not so much wrestling, and even if you can't get that first or second takedown, I mean, just giving them that threat of your wrestling is breaking the rhythm. It's making them second guess which will win the stand up. So I do feel like the wrestling aspect makes wrestlers a lot easier to transition into MMA versus a stand up guy.
Oh, true. Very true. It's hard to learn wrestling. It's not something that you could pick up in a couple years. I feel like for striking, you can become a decent striker in a couple years. It's hard to become a good wrestler in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wrestling since in high school, and it takes time. It does take time, unless you're a freak of nature like St. Pierre that never wrestled and came just out of nowhere became a great wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few fighters that could become good wrestlers. There's so much hip control and just angles you need to learn about wrestling that takes multiple years, thousands and thousands of hours of drilling to get things right.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Very, very little, like you said, are able to just be able to grab it just like that. No, that being said, so how do you balance your social, family, training, like the media obligations? Like, how do you balance all that?
It's I schedule them for late at night. I I usually I'm up at 6 in the morning.
Hmm.
I like to wake up early just to kind of unwind and give myself a couple hours because my day don't really start till like 9 o'clock. But I leave my house around 8:30. But if I wake up at 6:30, it gives me a good hour to kind of just slowly wake up, spend some time with my dog, make some coffee. I have a little section outside of my yard. Kind of just enjoy myself. Wake up in the morning, drink my coffee, and slowly wake up and meditate and just make sure my day is right. Get my things ready. So when 8 o'clock hits, everything's ready to go. Get to make some breakfast and then take off. Other than waking up right at 9 o'clock and be like, oh damn, I'm late, and then you forget things or you're not ready.
Hmm.
The anxiety, doesn't do. I I love like lately I've been going to bed early and just unwinding. Been taking a lot of baths and just kind of just meditating, just kind of focusing on myself. My social life is just right now. For the next 7 weeks, there is none. I'll spend time with friends when if I get a chance. But tell you the truth, and they know, like I'm getting ready for a fight. The next 7 weeks, you'll catch me in the gym or here at home trying to relax, recover, and get better and get ready for the next day. Because all that matters is the fight on November 7th.
Yeah,
We'll celebrate after.
yeah, and you just gotta stay focused on your fight. And it's good that you have people in your life that understand that truly understand that. They're not just
They
like
do.
exactly and
Yeah.
people who are like, "What the fuck, man? Why you ignore me?" Like you got people that are understanding. They get it. They get that you got to be like, dialed in for your fight.
100%. And they're 100% supportive of it. This Sunday, still went out with a friend's birthday after work, and we just kind of all hanged out. And I didn't drink. I just made sure I drink some water, had some good food. But everybody had a good time, and like there wasn't like there's some people that ask me like, "Oh, why you not drinking?" And I'm like, "Oh, I got a fight coming up." Like, "Oh, that's awesome, man." Nah, hey, make sure no, don't give no drink to Gustavo. Like, he's getting ready. Like everybody, all my friends that have try to get a small circle is that they are very supportive of my career, and they understand that I'm here to become better and work hard and just kind of be a good influence to everybody around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as much as they say, you're a model in the cage, but you're a model outside the cage as well.
I try to be.
You're a professional inside and outside the cage, as much as you try to, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. There's times I have to enjoy yourself afterwards. I
100.
have a I think I'm planning on going back home for Thanksgiving for after the fight. So it'd be nice to kind of just go back home with no wine. Kind of, I know a couple of teachers that from my old high school wants to come down, and I think last time I went down, went to go talk to my one of the classes, kind of just tell them, work hard, follow your dreams, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And it's good like for me. I'm one of the biggest things that came out of my hometown because it's a super small town up in Washington. Like the population is like 2,500, tiny town.
Oh my god.
So just to see someone like me working hard and getting out and doing well, it gives like a good reason to be to just follow your dreams and not giving up regardless of the circumstance that we were raised.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and you kind of talked about how you're balancing your life. So I hear that you like to do a lot of mountain biking.
I
Is
just started. Yeah,
you just
love it.
is that more for leisure? Or is that more for the training?
It started off just leisure. It just started off just to go out, and go out and just have fun, kind of thing. It started when the first quarantine happened, like 4 months ago. Like the first 3 months during quarantine, we
Hmm.
were just stuck at home. I couldn't do anything. So one of my buddies, Jay Haran, used to fight in the UFC. Now he's a stunt actor for a couple movies. He's like, man, let's get a mountain bike. Let's go biking. And I'm like, let's do it. Just went to buy a mountain bike and we started riding. It's fun. It gets you out there. You burn a lot of calories and you just enjoying yourself. You're not thinking about, oh, I just did 8-9 miles. Like you're just having a good time. And luckily, I've been able to meet a bunch of really amazing people. Uh, got connected with TJ Lavin. He's a big pro BMX rider, and it's he's one of the hosts for the challenge on MTV back in the day. But another, just a really good guy. We're just out there having a good time. There's no worries about what we're doing. What we do outside the cage is we're just out there having a good time, and it's fun. I really love it. It's dangerous though, so I kind of step back a little bit, and when I do go ride, I don't go as hard because the first couple of weeks we were going really hard, and when you fall, there's no mats out there, so you hit you hit the ground pretty hard.
Well, you're talking about dangerous. You're in the cage, punching people in the face. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's different though.
No,
There's a little padding over there. Over there, there's just a bunch of rocks, and
yeah.
it's a different kind of dangerous. Make sure we're protecting, make sure the right gear's out there. But
Hmm.
mountain biking is just super fun. Las Vegas has just bunch of a bunch of amazing trails. A lot of my friends I've realized that do mountain bike. I'm like, oh, you didn't know, but yeah, like all the guys are just starting mountain biking. It's such a good way to just burn some calories without even thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, we're just I don't mean to cut you off here, but we're kind of coming up on time here. So again, I do want to thank you for taking your time for coming on the podcast here. I know that you've been training all day, so I know I want to give you some time to uh just to relax and sorry. Let me see. Sorry. Shit popped up on my
No, no worries.
but yeah, and I know that you've been training all day, so I know probably want to let you get some rest here. So thanks again, man, and look forward to your fight, man.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.